Hi Gemini, it's Trishna. Welcome to your September 2021 Love Tarot reading. So what I'm feeling for you, Gemini, for September of 2021 is I feel like love is going really, really well for you. I feel like it's going so well that it's almost a little bit scary. I feel like you're on this love high and things are seeming like really good and almost perfect and things are just really working out for you. And I feel like it's a little bit scary for you. You don't really know how to feel about it sometimes because it's so good that, and you know that sometimes when things are really good, there is the opposite side and you're wondering, okay, things are really good, but when is that bubble gonna burst? When are things gonna just not be good and go crashing right down and getting back to a dark place? And if it's back to a dark place, how do I figure that? How do I figure this out? How do we work through this? Are we gonna make it? So I don't feel like you actually need to be concerned about how are you going to make it together, because I feel like that's not really realistic for where your relationship is at, but you have these thoughts, you have these fears, things are so good, when is this bubble going to burst, and oh my god. And the thing that I feel is you're worried about that because you've done a lot of work, Gemini. You've done a lot of work and you've really grown as a person, you've grown spiritually, you've made a lot of changes, you've chilled out a little bit, and that's really what's been contributing to a lot of the relationship being in such a really good place. Now, it's not all you, your partners have to do work as well, but just speaking to you, Gemini, you've done a lot of work internally. And maybe you're still getting comfortable with this version of you in the relationship. Maybe you're still getting used to it, and so you feel like you might not be able to uphold it, or you feel like if things start to crash, that you won't be able to come back to this really good place, not only in the relationship, probably not even about the relationship. I think this is really about you. We feel like you won't be able to come back to the version of you that you are now, that you've grown into, if a crash were to happen. So you're always concerned that you're going to end up going backwards. And Gemini, I feel like what you really need to know is the work that you have done is the work that you have done. This is a transformation that you have made. And yes, you are going to find your way back. And no, the crashes are never going to be what they used to be like because you are a different person now. And so is your partner. So what used to be your low is no longer your low. Your low. You've both grown. So yes, maybe you'll go backwards a little bit, just depending on the situation, just depending on life. You know, life loves to throw curveballs. But you're never going to go. If this is your good and this is your bad, where it used to be, you're never going back here. Maybe you go here, maybe halfway at most. That's about it. But you two have both done so much work that you can work through anything together. So I think that these worries that you have are unfounded. I think these worries that you have, I understand that you have them, but most of them are really just fears of the self, not fears of the relationship or the partner. And you can handle it, Gemini. You've grown, and even if you did slide back, come on, you've already done this before. You can get yourself right back. I know it's just that you don't feel comfortable in this new you, and this new mentality that you've adopted, or this new version of your personality that you've highlighted. You just don't feel like you've had enough practice with it to like perfect it. But you have. I feel like you don't believe me, but you have. It's all gonna be good, Gemini. All right, let's get into the tarot portion. All right, Gemini, so looking at the tarot cards, the first one that we have here is the Justice card. I apologize, my camera is very blurry. I'm gonna show you these, but you probably aren't gonna be able to see it very well. But the first card that we have is the Justice card. And what I feel like this is trying to say is, I feel like it's trying to say that justice has been had in the relationship for both you and your partner. You have battled things out, and then worked things out. And now you both have found a balance within each of yourselves and a balance within the relationship that really works for everybody who is involved. I also feel like you, Gemini, you are worried that you will not stay in balance. I think that's what the fear is around what we talked about in the intuitive portion, that you may go back to your old ways, or that you have I think you feel like maybe you have a lot of negative qualities or qualities where you get triggered, or qualities that are not bad, but maybe unpleasant to be around. And you're worried that those are really going to come out and you won't be able to rebalance them. So that's what I feel like is going on there, which we talked about in the intuitive portion. But what you need to know is that we got the 10 of Pentacles. You have hit your success. You've hit your abundance. You've done what you needed to do. Things are good, Gemini. Don't worry about it. In fact, they're so good that we have the Six of Pentacles, which I feel is trying to tell you, you've mastered this so well that you're not going to believe me, but that you've mastered it so well that you are actually ready to teach it. You could teach people about this. You could give them advice. You can give them guidance. Like, you're that good. Again, you don't feel like you're a master yet. You feel like you're still just a student, or that, you're not really an expert. You're a beginner who's kind of found their way and figured something out, and you're not really sure how you did it, but you somehow have done it. And I think because you don't always know how you did it, that's part of the fear too, is you don't really know how you got to this place. So if it goes away, if a mistake happens, if things go backwards, you don't know how to get back because you don't know how you got here in the first place. But Gemini, you really need to trust yourself. You need to trust yourself because it is innate now. It is. And that's the thing, is sometimes when you do become an expert, when you do become really good at something, you don't know how to teach it. You don't always remember how you got here. You can't think about the steps because it's so natural. It's second nature now. You are an expert. So a lot of times whenever you're learning something, sometimes you want to learn from a beginner or someone that's more intermediate because they're still thinking about it. They can still think through the steps. Whenever you get to expert level, sometimes you feel like they're not telling you the whole story, or they're not telling you all their steps, and you think that they're holding something back, but really it's because they're just second nature. They haven't really thought about it. It's just, they haven't thought about it in a long time. It's just normal for them. So that's you, Gemini. Like, this is becoming innate. You are an expert. This is something you can teach. So the final card that we have is the Eight of Pentacles. So with the Eight of Pentacles, and I also want to say, I don't know why I want to say this, but I feel like it sounds like never mind. Okay, so 10 of Pentacles. With the 10 of Pentacles, what I feel like this is trying to say, and actually, I feel like what we need to point out is the number of pentacles that you have. You have 3 of the 4 cards that I pulled that are all pentacles. So I feel like this is really pointing to career. And the guidance is to continue to focus on your career. If you're wondering, how did I get to this place? How do I get back? The answer is your career. I feel like whenever you put a lot of attention on your career, your goals, if you're trying to start a business, when you put a lot of focus on that, it balances your energy out, Gemini. And when your energy is balanced, you're able to be balanced in your relationship. And when you're able to be balanced in your relationship can thrive. And I feel like your partner also has something in their life that they also need to focus on. It doesn't have to be career. It could be a hobby or something like that. But something in their life that allows them to get balance as well, so that you both can be balanced in your relationship. So the guidance here is continue to stay focused on your career, continue to stay focused on your goals. Don't let your goals or your career or your business take a back seat in the relationship, because it's very important for the success and health of your relationship. And yeah, as long as you're giving that the attention that it needs, of course, giving your partner the attention that it needs too, but just don't give them all your attention. Make sure that you're also balancing things out with the career portion, giving that the attention that it needs. As long as you're doing that, you're always going to be able to stay in a relatively balanced place, and you're definitely always going to be able to find your way back. So Gemini, I hope that this was helpful. I hope this gave you the guidance that you were looking for or that you needed. If this was helpful, please share this with somebody that you know who you think it would help as well. If you're looking for a more in-depth personal reading, I offer those on my website. Please check the description box below for the link. And I have one-on-one sessions that are live. I also have audio recorded sessions, and I have a few different kinds of tarot readings that I'm currently doing. So there's one that's kind of like a solar return. It's essentially the year ahead reading that you can do on your birthday, or give as a gift for someone on their birthday, or just do the year ahead anytime you want to know what's coming up in your year. And I have a few other different kinds of readings, of course, love readings too. So if you're interested in that, check it out. And if you haven't already subscribe, hit the like button, and I will see you in my next video, Gemini.